Hi and welcome to the channel. I recently did a review on the Honeycomb Bravo Throttle Quadrant. I had a lot of good things to say about it. I had one complaint. This is what I said. One of the problems with the flaps, you can see there's no detents, but I'm going to see if there's some way to 3D print something that could be mounted, maybe even a new handle, something that would have some removable gates. It'd be nice to have approach flaps and landing flaps. I do like using a handle if it's available. It's more realistic. Well, with the help of my good friend, fellow simmer, and SolidWorks modeling expert Chuck Kindle, we came up with something, and we'd like to share it with you. I think you'll find it exciting. Also, towards the end of the video, I'm going to share with you how you can take part in this project with us. But first, check this out and see what we're doing in action.
Good evening Tower, American 235 on the visual to runway 34 center.
American 235, you're number 2, behind traffic short final, wind 310 and 10, clear to land, runway 34 center.
Roger, clear to land, runway 34 center.
Gear down.
Landing gear down.
Flaps 15, landing checklist.
Flaps 15.
Start switches, continuous, speed brake, armed green light, landing gear, verify, down, 3 green.
Landing gear down, 3 green.
Landing checklist, down to the line.
Flaps 25.
Flaps 25.
Flaps 30, below the line.
Flaps 30. Flaps, verify 30, green light, detent.
30, green light, detent.
Landing checklist complete.
So here are the printed parts that we designed. First, a sleeve that fits with a finger lift that fits around the existing flap handle. And the slots themselves are mounted into a very similar to the rubber thing that covers unused slots, and you use this in the one next to where the handle is located. And I'll show you how that's installed. You just take it and slide it just like you install the rubber shield over an unused slot, and it just slides right down in there and press fits nice and tight. And then the finger lift slides right over the around the existing flap handle, and then it's installed so that the tab can engage the slots. A slight lift with the fingers to get it over the teeth, and then it drops right in by gravity. No springs required. Innovative design, it's super simple, and a minimum number of parts. Really couldn't be much simpler, but it works great. So let me give you a quick demo as I run the flaps through the range of positions on the Zibo 737 in X-plane. Now, of course, this will only work with X-plane right now because the settings for the flaps are unique for each simulator. It just so happens the Zibo is the most popular 737, so we set out with that as the goal initially. And you can see as we just lift it up and drop it in each position, it makes a corresponding movement on the gauge. You may notice that once you lift it up and get it on top of the tooth, you can release it, and when you get to the next slot, it falls right down in there. So it's very natural. You just pull it up, get it started, and just drop it in. And it works wonderfully. Now, you may notice that the position right there at 15, just above 15, is slightly taller, so that it kind of tends to catch it, just like the gate on the actual 737, because on a go around with 2 engines, use flaps 15. And the same thing here at flaps 1, you can see there's a little taller tooth, so that it tends to catch it. And catch it there at 1 because for a single engine landing with flaps 15, flaps 1 is your go-around flaps. So I just showed you the compatibility with the Zibo on X-Plane. The Laminar Research default 737-800 is also compatible. It's a very commonly used airplane, and the flap gates, flap notches work perfectly. See here, we'll just put it in 1 and 5. So it's totally compatible with the X-Plane default 737-800. We also wanted to test the FlyJ Sim Boeing 737-200. I flew this plane, my first airliner I ever flew. It's a great airplane, the 737-200. Pretty much retired every place now, I think. All analog gauges, and it was a fun airplane to fly. Again, compatibility here with the flaps in the modification to the Bravo Throttle Quadrant. This sim really has a great flight model. Jack did a great job. We also tested it with the IXEG Boeing 737 Classic, the 3, 4, 5, and 600 model 737s. Again, lots of time in this airplane. Kind of half, mostly analog. Of course, the flaps work just great with those too. So all the 737s that I know of in X-Plane that are of any mention, the flaps will be compatible with this modification to the Bravo Throttle Quadrant. So what's the plan and how can you get involved? We'd like to get some plastic molds made so we can injection mold these parts so they have a really nice finish and very strong material. Unfortunately, the molds aren't cheap. We don't want to pony up the money for molds unless we're pretty sure we're going to at least break even. We thought about a Kickstarter, but that just overly complicates things. What we really need is a way to gauge the interest in purchasing these if we could build them for, say, about $20. And that's where you can get involved. At the link above, you can sign up and say that you are interested in purchasing these when they're ready. I'm not going to ask for any financial commitment, just your word that you would buy one for the approximately $20 price. Of course, at this early state, the $20 is just a guess. Could be $5 more, $5 less. But if we can't keep it in that range, we probably will discontinue, and we won't have any money to return like a typical Kickstarter program. If you'd like to see this campaign succeed, you can help us out by sharing this video and the link to the sign up with your simming friends and also on social media and forums. If we can get a couple hundred commitments, we should be able to go ahead with the project, but we won't know that for sure till we nail down our costs. By the way, if anyone happens to be an injection molder or has a rich uncle who's an injection molder and might be interested in getting involved with this, let us know. We prefer not to have to go offshore, but usually that's the cheapest place to get something like this done. Again, if you'd like to help make this a reality, you can sign up at the link shown here or in the description below. For those of you with 3D printers, we're not going to be releasing the STL files for a while. We understand your desire to print one yourself, but that will reduce the number of people supporting this project and probably limit its possibility of producing a quality product at an affordable price. Also, for non-X-Plane simmers, bear with us. We want to try to make this project work, and if it does, we will consider trying to make this, modify this to work with other simulators on other sim platforms. So if you'd like to show your support and help us push forward, go ahead and sign up at the link. There will also be an option at the link to sign up just for notification via email to keep updated on the progress we make. Also, I'll be keeping you updated on this channel as we go from turning this idea into a reality. Thanks for watching.